Well, for the new joiners here from the raid, we have Diego Barbosa versus MD Silva, accompanied by his Severance teammate Ryan Ross. Of course, Michael Shaw, the leader of Severance, nowhere to be seen as he is preparing for his match next up on the main event against Jack Collins, who has been reported Michael Shaw has requested to have no help from Severance, wanting to take this one on his own. As we lead into, obviously, MD, one of the stars that's really started to shine after joining up with Michael Shaw and Ryan Ross, and Diego Barbosa, an original of MCW, who has consistently shown his ability, but again has just always kind of been the bridesmaid, never the bride, you know, sort of never making it to that top level, never had a world title shot. He was and obviously this is with him facing MD Silva, you know, again the protege of Michael Shaw, which is probably Diego Barbosa's biggest rival so far, having a incredible trio of matches early on in MCW's history against Michael Shaw. Probably still to this day the best actual trilogy of matches. So, but obviously MD Silva, well, Diego Barbosa having the experience over MD, but MD certainly has the advantage here with having someone in his corner, with Diego obviously taking this matchup on his own. Rumours were that backstage there were actually several people that were willing to accompany Diego, just in their pure hatred of Severance, of course being the most hated faction in the company at the moment. But Diego denied any help, wanted to take this one on his own, believing he has the ability that he can do, utilising his, you know, very kick-centred offence, of course stemming from his days as a football player back in the day. I say back in the day, only like a couple of years ago realistically, before he was forced to retire and turned his passion into wrestling. And he goes in for the pin now. 1, 2, a kick out at 2 from MD Silva. And MD, of course, having a little, a confrontation with Serena Starchild as well backstage, as you would have seen in the roleplay channels. There clearly being a deep hatred between the two of them. Has gone on for a while now. MD taunting the crowd here. Of course, the crowd going to be rallying in Diego's favour here, but he might need a bit more, and a code breaker out of nowhere goes in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from MD Silva. As Diego with a rare suplex. Not often you see Diego go for a strength-based move. Some kicks to the midsection here to take down MD Silva. As he now climbs up to the top, you have to assume he's going for the coup de grace, and he hits it. Going in for the pin straight away. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from MD Silva. I'm sure a lot of people in the crowd thought it was all over. Nice split-legged moonsault there. Diego with some more kicks to the face of MD Silva. Smashing him face first into the mat. It's been very a dominant performance from Diego so far. Is MD going to get back into it? Maybe Ryan Ross needs to get himself involved here to give MD just a little bit of edge to be able to get himself into this match. Or maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe that's all he needed. Ryan Ross coming here, trying to, looks like, take the padding off the turnbuckle into a nice powerbomb. Goes for the pin here. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Diego. Big knee strike to the side of the head. And once more, will we get another? And we do. MD Silva now really trying to get into this match. The referee obviously distracted now, trying to put the padding back on the turnbuckle that was exposed by Ryan Ross. Huge drop kick to the legs. A very clever maneuver to target the legs of Diego. And a H-bomb. And that was the move that was said to be the final blow that, put Serena Starchild into injury. An injury that I've heard backstage she's currently still recovering from, despite going back to the ring. Fighting her way through it for the sake of the fans, and obviously it clearly works as she took home a big, unexpected win against Ronan Wolf earlier tonight. As MD now stalking Diego while he stumbles back up to his feet. Going for a punt kick, and he connects. And now goes for a springboard drop kick. MD Silva showing Diego, you might be very kick-centered, but I've got kicks of my own. And a huge clothesline to Diego. Goes in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. You can see Ryan Ross almost starting to celebrate at the beginning there, seeming to think that he had picked up the win. But as we all know, Diego is someone who doesn't go down easy, and a diving shoulder tackle. Could this be the final move that needed to pick up the win? 2, 3, and it is. MD Silva picks up a shock victory against Diego Barbosa. An impressive match. It was a very, linear match of a back and forth of, one match into, the momentum consistently shifting. It was Diego all at the start, and then it was MD for the rest of the match afterwards. MD Silva better than Diego in MCW and in clubs. Well, let's not go as far as clubs. Let's not forget the fucking stinker that you were dropping, MD, last night. Jesus, you stunk. You had to have Brad Collins to come in and save your ass, and then you started to actually perform. I was holding it down at centre-back as much as I could have done. But this clothesline looked like it nearly took Diego Barbosa's head damn clean off. As we now prepare ourselves for the main event of tonight,
here is your winner,
which is Michael Shaw taking on Jack Collins. A match that would be huge for Jack Collins. Jack obviously requested this match after he is, he's actually, undefeated against Severance members. He's beaten Ryan Ross last week, and he beat MD Silva earlier on in his career.